Hi, I'm coming to you today to hopefully help some people in the future in regards to shooter's elbow. Shooter's elbow, also known as tennis elbow or lateral epicondylitis, is this affliction you get right here where your tendons become very sore and stressed from all the research and everything that I've gotten. And you can see that knot right here, opposed to my other arm where that is normal. There's no knot, big old knot. So I've been suffering with this for about 2 years, and it got better after about 8 months to a year the first time around, and I thought I was good to go. And then I got a new Evo grip, which is quite heavy, stainless steel. Put it on my gun, started doing some dry firing, and next thing you know, boom, here it comes back again. I could barely lift anything up. For those of you that ever had shooter's elbow or tennis elbow, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This would be impossible to lift this up, especially in this direction. Shaking hands is very difficult to do. Those are the two things that keyed me off. I went to shake somebody's hand at the shop one day, grabbed their hand, and I about dropped to my knees with this incredible pain in my elbow. So anyway, after I got this thing, I started doing all the research. As you can see by the layout I have here, I have spent literally hundreds of dollars in pursuit to try to figure out how to make myself better. And I thought I'd share and maybe save people some money and some time on what worked for me. So initially, I just started reading about tennis elbow, figuring that's what I had. And of course, you do the things that everybody does. You know, you hear about these braces that you put around your forearms. These offer a little bit of relief, but it doesn't do anything to actually get you better in the long run. But, you know, it is not unusual for me to wear one of these and to put that pressure across those tendons in that forearm to just get me through a shooting session. But again, they don't do anything as far as making you better in the long run. I was listening to Steve Anderson's podcast, and he was talking about he had shooter's elbow, and Absolute PT was a website that he referred people to, and I went there and I read Chad's blog on tennis elbow, and he has all kinds of physical therapy exercises you can do. So with a series of weights, you know, you're going to do wrist curls, reverse wrist curls, and then you're going to do skull crushers. And all these are generally done on your back where you're doing something like this. Now don't get me wrong, this is still not comfortable, but I can do it. I am in the probably 75% to 80% better, but I still have some annoying pain. So the therapy, I believe, absolutely helps. So I would definitely recommend that you do those exercises. Then after more research and more reading and more YouTube, you know, folks started saying that what you can have is an imbalance in the strength of your arm. Through over gripping, we're building up the tensors, we're building up the flexors, and the tensors are not getting their share of a workout. So what happens is you have this discrepancy in strength, which causes that stress on the backside. So then you start hearing about, you know, working in reverse, you know, working the tensor muscles. So, you know, I bought these series of bands. You could probably use rubber bands, but, you know, these work pretty good. There's different sizes and different tensions, and, you know, you do reps of these of roughly 15 3 times a day, or 3 sets, of 15 times. So this has helped me a little bit, and I'm avidly doing this regularly. So far, weights, yes. Band to offer some relief while you're shooting. These rubber bands to offer strengthening up the tensors by this exercise. Some other things I went and did. Now this obviously is not the syringe that I had shot into my arm. This is the turkey basting for the fried turkey syringe. But I put it up here so I wouldn't forget to talk about it. I also had the steroid injection into my elbow. And, you know, of course, it was after I already went to the doctor and had it done that I heard and read about on Chad's blog that that is not a good thing to do. That overuse of steroids into your tendons can actually weaken the tendons. So I obviously didn't go back for any of that. And actually, it really didn't do anything for me either. If I had any relief, it was extremely temporary because I never gave my arm a break. If you're an avid USPSA shooter, competitive shooter, you know, stopping wasn't an option for me. I wanted to shoot. I couldn't stand not being able to shoot. I just wasn't doing a lot of dry fire anymore, so I would just restrict myself to live fire training. Some other things, the Tommy Copper. Oh yeah, put this on, that'll relieve. That's a bunch of shits, what that is. It didn't do anything. It might offer a little warmth, as does this generic elbow support, and that warmth might create better blood flow, and in that respect maybe do something, but I mean, who's going to wear this all the time? But so it was just mainly, again, a little bit of comfort, but it's not doing anything long term for you at all. So then I go online and I start buying all kinds of other things. I'm obviously buying this TheraBand, and the TheraBand is another way to exercise your tensors. And I found this to help. So again, this along with the weights and the bands were excellent, and I highly recommend it. I got a roller, and the roller allows you to get in there with some weight and put pressure on these tendons. And when I felt how good that was feeling, and I could feel that I might be getting somewhere and rolling out these things, then I started seeing this roller, which gets me a little more direct. I can get in there and roll along those muscles and in those tendons up in there. And painful, yeah, a little bit, but you're breaking them in. You're creating inflammation, which brings more blood there, and the blood helps promote healing. So this was a plus. So I thought I was on the right track. I'm getting a little bit better. And of course, the first thing you're going to go running to is any kind of cream that's supposed to help you. I've got Rock Sauce here, which is like, icy cold. I've got something called Penetrex. It had like 2,000 great reviews on Amazon. And of course, if you shop on Amazon, if you look at this thing to buy, next thing you know, this pops up as whoever bought this, whoever bought something else bought this. And the pain is so great that you look for anything. You're looking for anything to do. So then I started kinesio tape.